There you go. So we've had a load of distraction over the weekend. Braverman's been peddled, obviously, by the globalists. You see, you don't get sacked out of that cabinet unless the globalists want you gone, okay? Because they've got a plan. Their plan's very nefarious, very dark, and extremely dangerous to the vast majority of the population. So here we have a 5G enabled cruise ship heading for Australia with no COVID-19. I mean, I told people early on, a lot of people couldn't get their head around the fact that radiation pollution it is identical to their unisolated COVID-19 virus. I mean, you couldn't make this shit up, could you? You couldn't actually make it up. Yeah. No wonder they do not like what I have to say. No wonder I get trolled all the time. No wonder they just don't like it. The globalist, cult, satanic people who are driving this agenda, all right, because we're smashing it out the park, knocking the ball out the park. Here we go. So there was a lot of people coming for a lot of stick. I'm always quite mindful of, when people point fingers, etc. It's always quite interesting. Obviously, haven't read the scripture. Obviously, pretty demonic, not following what you're supposed to do. Anyway, it was really interesting. We've done some good talks lately. Unfortunately, the Liverpool talk got shut down, obviously for obvious reasons. Liverpool Council do not want people to know about the 15 million digital city prison plan. It's exactly what it is. So send this to your friends and family. Now, they said COVID-19 was a virus. Yeah, well, unfortunately, as we're seeing here, the 5G ships cause radiation sickness, which exhibits flu, pneumonia type symptoms. I did tell people about this. Lots of people have been explaining it. But unfortunately, still a lot of people don't like to talk about 5G. They don't like to talk about the 5G. And the reason they don't like to talk about 5G is because 5G is not 4G. 5G is something completely different. And what I can cause with a 5G antenna is a focused beam. And the fact that I can focus the beam, it means I can get enough energy within that beam form to cause an ionizing effect. Now, we all know that ionizing radiation is extremely dangerous. I can focus in it with an area. I could focus on an individual. In fact, I can shoot with a directional weapon system. So that's what's really going on. Now, one of the things I've also come across, people are a bit upset with this Andrew Bridgen chap because he's talking about excess mortality rates. And I just spoke to the bro this morning, and what's quite interesting, you've got to try and work out why the cover-up, why the global cover-up of these excess mortality rates and data. Well, the reason for the cover-up is all pretty obvious, isn't it? Right? They're going to use it for the next lockdown. And they don't want it coming out today that all these people are dying, right? They want that to come out when they're ready. And obviously they're not ready yet. But here you go. Hear them getting ready, right? COVID-19 igniting fresh outbreak fears. So that's more lockdowns, more mask wearing, obviously for the ritual, the satanic ritual, mask wearing. Yeah. So more mask wearing. I think they've even tried it in the USA and it's not going very well. And obviously we've got the whole climate bullshit narrative. Interesting enough, we've got a multi-billionaire who funds Extinction Rebellion. Yeah. Now, that's quite interesting, isn't it? I mean, you kind of amass all that money and be that thick, not to know that climate's controlled by the defense industry using stratospheric aerosol injection and ionospheric radiators. So you can see they're pretty upset. So a lot of people upset with anybody talking about excess mortality rates. A lot of people upset with people who talk about 5G, psychotronic weaponry, psyops, and directional weapon systems, and especially if you tell people it's in the streetlights. They don't like you talking about 15-minute digital city prisons, and they'll basically tell you that make carnage, the carnage in London. It's all about tax. It's not about raising money. I'm sick of hearing people talk about this. The £12.50 is to destroy businesses in London. It's an economic terrorist attack. So it's economics terrorism, but it's as well as bringing multi-photon ionizing radiation radar guns into the cityscape, basically to make it ill and possibly to cause, guess what, COVID-19 symptoms. So when you're driving through those radar guns, there's half a possibility you're going to get COVID. All right. Certain frequencies emitted from them create sickness, ill health, and possibly death. We've looked at the cooler blocks on them, and it looks a pretty nasty piece of kit. I'd like to get my hands on one. Somebody did promise to send me some pictures. I'm not on about the ones that are on top of the... I'm not on about the weapon that they've installed on top of the lamppost. I've seen plenty of them pictures. It would be nice to see the guts of a one. I'm pretty sure there's somebody in one of the factories can send some. I mean, I have got the manuals on them, but I mean, they're very, very sparse from a technicalities perspective. In fact, very, very poor for a reason, specifically for a reason. So there you go, everybody. Hope that's, hope you're getting this out. Try your best to not get distracted from the fact that the globalists are trying to exterminate you. Try not to be distracted by the periphery. All right, because believers, that's exactly what they're going to do if you keep getting distracted.